32 minutes, 21 seconds. 5-second tone followed by a 1-second pause.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe.
Okay, gang, let's go.
From the space city called Houston, Texas, welcome to Spaceboy Universe, featuring Spaceboy and the lovely Surlana. So strap in and prepare for launch sequence.
Space Cadets, it's Spaceboy Universe. Across from me is the lovely Surlana, and you've reached what we call the universe. It is June the 22nd, 2019, and this is show 3.32. Finally, the end of something new. We'll get into that later. As always, follow us on Twitter. That's at the SBU Universe. Follow Surlana at Surlana. Follow me at Spaceboy Music. And of course, hashtag the tweets tonight with hashtag SBU Universe, hashtag Space Cadets. In addition to Twitter, you can find us all over social media. Just search for Spaceboy Universe. Hey, cadets, you'll want to check out the YouTube channel, which you're probably doing right now. We've gone full time as far as broadcasting on the SBU YouTube channel. And as things come down the pipe and more information becomes available, we will give you more information that the universe doesn't end completely. But we'll get into that also later. But as I say that, we do more than the archive of shows here on YouTube. We have video content from SB Music, video interviews, 2-Bit Gamers, and so much more. So hit that subscribe button and click that bell to be notified so that you'll know when new content is available. And can't catch a show live? No problemo. Follow SBU via, let me make sure I get this right, SoundCloud. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have, huh?
Can you go through the list?
Hold on just a second. Well, it's not a full list anymore because before the channel that we're not speaking of anymore.
SoundCloud.
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes.
iTunes. Maybe not.
No.
Okay. Spreaker. Maybe not.
No, because we're
no,
not doing
not
Spreaker.
It's not Spotify anymore. No iHeartMedia.
Here, let me just make it simple for everyone. Tune into YouTube. That's
Or
where it's all at, or at SoundCloud.
All right,
Yes, we
so
do.
Our options
So
are limited.
Those two are the best ways to tune in for backup channels for SBU on the go with you. So on that magical note, let me bring in the lovely Surlana. How are you, Surlana?
Unprepared and disorganized as usual, because that's where my mind has been, unfortunately. But I've got some things we can chit chat about if you're interested.
Yes, good. My apologies to the cadets out there. Still working this video thing, streaming to YouTube. But as we move forward and doing live events, maybe we'll get a little bit better on it.
Bev just said in YouTube chat that yesterday was Bob's
Oh,
birthday.
yes, I forgot about that. Happy birthday to Bob, one of our favorite space cadets, married to Bev. We all know Bev and love Bev so much here, and I hope he had a wonderful birthday. Bev, I hope you left him some cake.
Cake.
So, I've been reduced to eating yogurt periodically for
I've been
dessert.
eating yogurt too, just because I need to.
Yeah, because I have a big adventure coming this week. It's almost like that thing where they shrunk down that submarine and stuck it in that guy. What is it, Fantastic Voyage? Yeah, that's what it was.
I remember.
Oh yeah,
I know inner space.
It was before our time, but yeah. Oh well, yeah, inner space. Yeah. So hopefully the doctor doesn't shrink himself down and
Get up in there.
send the craft up the poop chute to check out what's going on with me on the inside. But anyway, that's my problem, and I'll just keep
We've been
that to
eating
myself.
what they've nicknamed the Jamie Lee Curtis poop yogurt. That's the brand, you know. Anyways.
So what you got over there, babe?
Just you know, the usual headlines that catch my eye before the show airs. Okay, this one I don't know because it's the government, right? And I don't know how to feel about the things that they do, right?
Right.
U.S. Air Force has a new weapon called Thor that can take out swarms of drones. Now, I'm trying to imagine a scenario where we'd have a swarm of drones in this country. I suppose it's possible, but...
Well, you just remind me of a movie that's coming out. You know,
Swarm of Drones?
Well, no, it's...
Is it a Game of Thrones, Swarm of Drones?
What is this? The guy, Gerard Butler, is it?
Ooh, he's yummy.
He's been in those movies where...
Action.
like
action
the
movie.
White House Down and that stuff. Well,
He's an action hero.
He's another one, and apparently these drones kind of come out of nowhere, and they're like a squadron of drones, and you know they're about as big.
That actually has not been done before in a movie, I don't believe.
No, it's
right?
Well, it's I guess they borrow from technology, and
that's actually kind of interesting.
And these drones would go down kamikaze like and blow up and.
He's nice to look at, and he's Scottish, so he's got that going for him. So anyway. So this week, the U.S. Air Force unveiled this new tool. It can be stationed at bases around the world. It's a high-powered microwave system called Tactical High Power Microwave Operational Responder. Of course, they've pulled out a few of those letters and called it Thor, so they left out the P and the M, which is designed to protect bases against swarm of drones. So this is for military defense.
Right.
I hope. I always worry about them taking their technology, turning it on us, the citizenship.
It's an inevitability that they're going to use the technology against humans. So.
Right. So they began testing Thor this year. And another system called Counter Electronic High Power Microwave Extended Range Air Base Air Defense System.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, but they're calling it Chimera. They just dropped the letters they don't need, I guess. And it's designed to hit things at medium to long ranges. That's getting ready to drop, as the kids say, next year. The military, and while they're doing this is what our military says. They predict a major problem will be swarms of drones operating in concert. And it wouldn't matter if you just take one or two down, because I guess they got like a hive mind or something. Mm-hmm. This system is, what they've developed is to take out a large number of drones all at once, and it has a further range than bullets or nets that you could shoot, at these things. Now, drones have to fly within a certain range. It's lower than, I guess, much lower than an airplane. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of see them come in, or you can track them, maybe. So it's going to operate like a flashlight. Anything caught in the beam will be taken down in the blink of an eye. I only hope they're able to distinguish between a military enemy drone and Amazon's delivery drones, because Amazon swears that's coming, and I'll tell you something about them in a minute if I can find it. Now, taking out a drone is difficult unless you have a trained attack a hawk or eagle, and it can only get one at a time. They're small, they're difficult to hit with a regular weapon like a gun, and if they're flying over people, you've got, a inhabited area. You've got so much extra risk with falling debris, pieces of the drone. So they've come up with a variety of methods to take them down. The conventional things with weapons that we already have, nets, eagles, and I mean eagles as in the actual bird, the eagle. Mm-hmm. Shotgun wielding drones. You could put a weapon on a drone and have it go after another drone. So they've invested in microwave weapons built by Lockheed Martin back last year. And they've been testing other systems like lasers. I always do it like, Dr. Eagle, lasers that can be used against drones or missiles. And so, that's all well and good if it's for our protection. I just worry that anything big and different is going to come back on us. That concerns me.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me see. I've got some more. I don't know if I got them open here. Hold on one second. This one kind of cracked me up here. Let me get this open.
Okay.
In my opinion, in a desperate attempt to stay relevant and useful, all Best Buy stores can now repair your Apple devices. First of all, I wasn't aware that they couldn't, but they're not my first go-to in my brain for help.
You mean
with technology.
The Geek Squad, or?
Well, that's part of Best Buy, I guess. So, Best Buy says it now offers authorized repairs, meaning Apple blessed this union, right? On Apple products at each and every one of its retail stores. This will give them more reason to exist.
So the geniuses have moved out of the Apple stores and moved into the Geek Squad.
This will actually give Best Buy more relevancy, an actual reason to walk into their sad little, dog and pony store. But it's an important alternative to the Apple store, because your Apple store is usually somewhere off in some rich area, or it's in a mall where you got to battle your way to the mall and into the mall. This is for iPhone and Macs, and I guess, iPhone and Macs. That's all they got. And I guess iPad would come underneath that heading.
Mm-hmm.
They're done with genuine Apple parts, fully backed by Apple, and just as if Apple's doing the work themselves, but it's his Geek Squad, so caveat emptor, is that what that's expansion brings the store up to 1,000 stores, so you can get your devices fixed. Best Buy's Geek Squad is nearly 7,600 newly Apple certified technicians to make same-day iPhone repairs or service to other Apple products. That's a big, bold statement. I'm not saying it's a lie. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the last time I walked into a Best Buy.
It's been too long, like a bowl of Wolf Brand chili.
Now, back when we lived elsewhere in Houston, we would live closer to a Fry's Electronics, and we would go there for everything. And then it just got to the point where I guess we moved away or blah, blah, blah. Everything we need tech-wise, it comes from the internet. We just order it.
We just order it off.
We don't walk in and buy anything like a phone anymore.
Because, quite frankly, I just don't want to put up with the BS of some salesperson telling me, "Oh, you should really buy this more expensive item," and I'm like, "No, I don't need your help. Please leave me alone."
Yeah, please go away. So, at the Apple stores, they're still there. They've been recently pushing to speed up keyboard repairs, which I didn't know that was an issue. Apparently, it's a big issue with your Apple MacBook, your MacBook Air, and MacBook Pro laptops. So I don't know what people are doing to these keyboards.
Eating cookies over them? Or?
Don't know. So it's unclear if Best Buy is going to replace third-generation Butterfly keyboards with its 2019 ramped version. So I don't know what any of that means. I'll be honest with you. But for same-day iPhone screen replacements, Best Buy says try to make an appointment and drop off before 6 p.m. your local time, assuming they've got the necessary parts in stock. It could be the same day, but if they don't have it in stock, it's back to the just general wait of waiting for something to get repaired. So, I don't know. I think, if you had a major problem and you couldn't solve it, would you take it to Best Buy with your iPhone, or?
No.
You and I are usually
if it's
able.
Mac, I just send it to him and give it to him.
The only Mac products you and I have is the iPhone right now.
At one point we had an iPad, but beyond that, that's it. It's not that I'm not opposed to my phone. It's just, in fact, how I got my phone was really the company I worked for. They went from using Blackberries to iPhones, and so it was like I was a little.
What year was this?
This is back when 3 jobs ago.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you had a BlackBerry,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave it to me for some reason.
No, we purchased Blackberries.
Yeah, but it had the
keyboard.
physical keyboard. I
Mhm.
kind of liked that.
Mm-hmm.
The little hard keys.
And you didn't mind that BlackBerry when you had that
No,
one?
no, it was a little, far as navigating stuff on the screen, it was a little clunky because you did physical hardware on the front of it, but I kind of liked it. And now it's just with the all touchscreen. It's like, for instance, you know how on the iPhone you have a white part at the top and a white part at the bottom where the button is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those should be non-reactive areas, I'm assuming, far as touch. But when I've got YouTube open, the app on my phone, if I put my hand down here in this white space where the button is, it will click something, quote unquote, under it on the app. It will start playing something there.
I think I recall some post somewhere about people having a problem with that.
It still reacts
Mm-hmm.
beyond the white parts, which is strange to me. It should be non-reactive there, but it is. But anyway, but I can't complain. Years ago, I spent a little time with my dad's whatever Android Windows-based phone he had, and it was so freaking complicated, clunky, needlessly fiddly, and it just, things just seem nice and simple on your phone, on the iPhone. Now, you hand me a MacBook or a Mac computer tower, I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of at work, working in the IT business, where people want these Mac products when the majority of offices use Windows-based computing. It just frustrates me beyond belief because I can zoom through issues dealing with Windows,
but the thing is,
and then when you're dealing with Mac OS, it's like
everything's sort of hidden from you, like you're an idiot.
Well, most users are idiots, but not our space cadets. They're a smart group of people.
But the thing is, I think you, and definitely me, I'm speculating about you, started on a Windows-based computer from a long time ago at an earlier age, and we've just not known anything other than DOS, Windows, and that whole environment, how it works. So that's just, we understand it from an IT level, from going into the back end and trying to fix things, and we're not intimidated by it. Worst comes to worst, you keep your data backed up. If it all goes to heck, just reinstall it.
Wipe and type.
But yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting because it seems like, how in the heck is Best Buy hanging in there?
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing it?
It's not through their wonderful customer service, that's for sure.
No, that's part of it.
Surlana, what is one of the great benefits of going to a fast food place like the McDonald's we have down the street?
That one down there? Well,
By the Exxon.
You could order ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one way. But let's say you're going to go in and you order in.
If you're there, you could go in and you could walk up to an interactive touch screen and order your menu and pay for it right there. You grab a physical number thingy and go sit down and put it on your table, and you just wait for them to bring it. You have nearly almost zero human interaction.
Well, if you would take a peek at what's on our screen right now on the live stream,
I'm looking at my stuff,
and it'll come up here very shortly. But apparently,
I don't see anything.
Here it goes. There, it's about to pop.
Oh, there he goes.
Apparently, the article from Vice,
Okay, there you go.
McDonald's touchscreen menus have found poo on all of them.
So put your gloves on first. Your
Yeah, you might
latex
want to put some
gloves.
gloves on, and I'm sure people are going to like.
I
look
come
at
in
you.
with a stylus, little stylus.
That's probably another way.
Let's go there after.
It's just
broadcast.
that just disgusts me. I mean, are they scratching their butts and then like putting the?
My thought process on this is everything in your life probably has something fecal matter on it, because if the public touches it, there's a good chance it's got it. So you need to keep some sanitizer with you at all times.
Yeah.
So that's just, I'm not shocked by that. Just use your good sense. Don't touch your food after you've touched that screen. Go wash your hands, and then wrap your hands with napkins, and then till you can get to your food.
Anyway, I think that's just disgusting. I mean, actually, after I give it a little thought, it could be kids,
Yes.
just putting their hands all over it and wanting to touch
'cause
it, and
their terrible parents are not making them wash their hands. So at work, and I've seen this in other places, but at my workplace in the women's restroom, many a times I'll see a woman, go wash her hands, and she goes to exit. She grabs a wad of paper towels, opens the door with the paper towels, walks through, stands in there, and turns around and throws the towels into the little trash can next to the inside of the restroom door, so you don't have to engage
right.
in more contamination. So.
Well, in a lot of men's rooms I've seen where men will.
I wouldn't want to touch anything in a men's room.
Take a paper towel to open the door, and then they'll just toss it anywhere, and not in the trash can, just toss it on the floor. So I think that's disgusting too. They're not taking the time to toss it in. If it's that bad, why don't they just get some rubber gloves? Remind you of somebody you know?
Yeah.
Of course, I use my rubber gloves when I'm.
You only do them
crawfish
for one thing. You only do it
crawfish.
for eating crawfish. 'Cause
And
you don't want the
sometimes
spice all over you.
and some ribs. The crawfish thing is I don't want my hands to smell like crawfish.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be a little, spicy.
Spicy.
Sorry, I was watching a bunch of Stefan clips, So yeah, there's that. Now, I was telling you earlier before this broadcast, I said, you can't go 1 week, you cannot go 5 days in a row without some kind of upset, scandal, or some other bad thing happening to either Facebook and YouTube. And we could do a whole show about everything that's wrong with both of these platforms. And I won't get into that because it doesn't. But on the flip note, here's something kind of good for YouTube. Hundreds of iconic music videos are being remastered in HD on YouTube. So your favorite artist will be in 1080p.
So not the old square looking thing?
Well, I don't know. It's Universal Music Group, the one that gets most of your copyright stuff stricken. And YouTube have teamed up to remaster some iconic music videos from standard definition to high definition. And they've partnered with various, I guess, record companies and labels, right? Right now, it's more than 100 music videos, so maybe they're going to keep going. But right now, it's like Janet Jackson, Lady Gaga, Lionel Richie have had a significant upgrade in their visual quality. They're working to bring up to 1,000 videos to this new standard by the end of 2020. And they'll replace the original version. So whatever they convert, the old version's going away. They're not talking about sound quality here. I don't know what this, but you got to imagine it's going to be better if it's in HD, right? So if they do this and they replace the video, this is on YouTube and YouTube Music, it will still have the same URL, the same view counts and likes as whatever's sitting there, right? So they don't got to worry about this. Just remastered. Now the videos that are older, of course, they weren't shot in high definition because it didn't exist. But apparently you can still remaster something that's old. You would probably understand this better, Spaceboy, than I would.
Hey, Surlana, let's take our break, and when we come back, we can pick it up right there. So don't go anywhere, anybody.
You know what I'm saying?
are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
This is author Gordon Root. You are listening to the Spaceboy Universe.
This is K28, and I'm listening to Spaceboy Universe.
Hi, y'all. This is Lori calling from Texas, and I love listening to Spaceboy Universe.
Hey, this is Dave Cruz, host of Beyond the Strange, and you're listening to Spaceboy Universe.
This is Wendy. I'm listening to Spaceboy Universe.
Hey, y'all. This is Lorelai DeLille. I listen to Spaceboy Universe. Don't you? Tell your mom and them I said hi.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe. Here are your hosts, Spaceboy and Surlana.
All right. Apparently we've come back too soon because Surlana is stuffing her face.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
you gave me an assignment.
Well, here, let me take over for a minute.
Well, I was going to tweak the doohickey.
We'll tweak the doohickey. as I'm trying to figure out what I did. Here we go.
And then I'll do at Spaceboy Doohickey.
Okay, we're back. So sorry for the long pause there. I'm just trying to get my things together. You know, I was looking across the internet, the interwebs, and basically came across the site Beauty of Planet Earth that has just posted some awesome pics of Jupiter, and I guess it was some of the moons. But here, let me pull the audience in and get this beautiful. Here we go. So here's some of the footage that they caught, some cloud cover over Jupiter. You know what's really amazing about some of these pictures is it reminds me of Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the beauty of these pictures is just stunning. Sorry if I'm moving too fast.
I don't see it yet on the. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, give it a second, and it'll start moving down.
We should have done this all along. That way you can do show and tell.
That's what I just posted in our chat. You know, I'm trying to not go too quick, but these images are just stunning.
This is which planet?
Well, this is Jupiter.
Aw, Jupiter. You so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's got more blues in it than I thought.
NASA's $1 billion Jupiter probe. So I would say apparently it got its money's worth.
Oh, yeah. This looks like, I mean, have they, you know that thing they do with some space photos where they enhance it with color and they put the color on it, but is this the actual color of Jupiter?
You're referring to the color correction?
They'll put color on stuff.
Like, for example, the probes that they sent to Mars. Usually on a probe, they'll have a color palette that sits right in front where the camera can look at it, and then they'll adjust the color according to what they know on the color palette that's on the probe.
You know, there's no way these planets are bland in color. It can't be all black and white and beige, and, it can't be. There's just no way.
Well, it takes more data to transmit color. Well, so then that's why, and
$1 billion can't give you color.
Well, I would have to agree with you on that. For that much, they should have high definition television signals sending back, and the images. But these images are impressive.
If they can go back,
we've come a long way of looking at pictures.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But if they could go back and make a Boys to Men video HD with crystal clear audio and video, why can't I see Jupiter in color? That's what I
see. Here's some of that wonderful dark blues, and doesn't it look like it hasn't caught up to your end, but
no,
the Starry Night.
Well, the swirls, yeah. I love the swirls on this planet. I guess that's the atmosphere we're seeing. That's not, the
cloud. Yeah.
If there's a surface, I guess we've never seen it.
No, and we'll probably never would if we wouldn't even get to
ammonia, methane, sulfur, and water. What's up there?
We wouldn't get to the surface of Jupiter. We would be crushed to death like a tin can and die instantaneously.
Well, even if you put a device down there, it would just like going under the ocean. It
would just crush it.
Marianas Trench type of thing.
The gravity on Jupiter is so intense that when they sent Cassini, they had to send it through the atmosphere, and it just imploded in the atmosphere.
Oh, poor little thing.
I mean, it was crushed, So
it's going to keep its secrets forever, huh?
Yeah, probably. We'll never know what's down deep in there, and and then plus you're talking about hurricane force winds that are like beyond what we've ever seen on Earth. So,
yeah, but I like this. I like being able to see what we're talking about together in. Look at that. That is so pretty. Aw. What do you mean by that, K28? That's Surlana's atmosphere. I'm able to crush people and objects in my atmosphere. If so, I'm kind of proud of that.
But it's just amazing. The universe is an amazing place out there.
It is, but it does want to kill you.
It does.
You must respect it.
Respect the
Stay
universe.
away from it, and it won't bother you. It's like that comedian's Shark Attack, baby. All right. So, anything else you want from me?
Let's see here.
Nintendo Mobile is going to release Dr. Mario in a few weeks. I don't know if you ever played that.
Oh, I love the Dr. Mario. I wish I had a little thing here.
It's going to be available on iOS and Android on July 10th, with pre-registration now open on iOS and Google Play. They revealed this back in January, and they got a trailer for the game. Instead of managing capsules as they fall down Tetris style, Dr. Mario World sees you drag them directly onto a pre-arranged playfield. This game also has the typical free-to-play mobile trappings like countdown timers, multiple currencies. A puzzle-like game, Dr. Mario will be at least a better fit for that sort of thing than Mario Kart. But that's coming week after next.
All right.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, I currently kind of revisited my Mario run that I have on my iPhone. In fact, I'm getting ready to put a compilation of little mini videos up to the YouTube site of me playing some of these games on my phone.
I never played Mario Kart on a platform, but you and I did play it at Dave & Buster's, where they're all linked up, And I have to say, I had no idea what I was doing, but it was kind of fun. I didn't know how to throw the objects that I got, But racing games make me, I don't know why, but racing games make me laugh to the point I'll cry because I was playing Fast and Furious on the other side, like directly across from the Mario Kart machines. And the game, that version of the game at the arcade is very forgiving in that you can plow down palm trees and cars and buildings, and it doesn't penalize you. It just straightens your car out and you just keep going. And that cracks me up because I do it so badly. It's funny, and I really enjoy that. I love hitting cars and buildings and trees and going off the side of a cliff on accident. I don't know why that tickles me, but there you go. So
yeah, it's fun stuff. I mean, yeah, you've seen some videos where people get pretty aggressive playing that.
Now, I have watched clips of people playing Mario Kart, I guess through Nintendo, platform, and I've listened to their commentary while they're playing. Mario Kart will ruin friendships. Apparently it gets pretty intense, and you can, I guess, throw objects and you can put obstacles to mess with the other drivers to give you an advantage. That's what people get upset about. But oddly enough, there's another game that also really damages relationships, and that is online multiplayer Uno. Just the old card game Uno really, really upsets people, and I don't know why. I haven't played Uno since I was a child with the actual physical, cards. But you can play it virtually online, probably through some like Steam platform or something like that. But yeah, that upsets people as well, and I don't really get it. Because the only time I ever experience that is if we play a game together and it's more like in your favor.
Well, you remember when we were doing the Wii bowling?
Yeah.
And how, I guess...
You're such an alpha male when it comes to that crap.
I will admit that I was okay, I'm going to beat you.
I wasn't doing it to get a certain score. I just enjoyed it,
But you were really good at it.
For a while. And we still have it, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We haven't played
the Wii work?
Since the infamous game of me playing and beating you.
Well, we changed the layout of our living area, and I don't think we've touched it since the layout's been changed. But and I'm sure the batteries are dead in both remotes. And
we need batteries.
Yeah, but I did Just Dance for a long time, and I really enjoyed that. But there's just too much crap in our living area to do that anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that couldn't change, but I imagine we're probably going to go back at some point to Dave & Buster's, maybe do some filming.
Revisit and use the good 4K camera.
I had this idea of doing what we're doing right now, with the live broadcast, or maybe even not live.
Wait. Are you telling the audience that you're stealing my idea?
No, remember I said, what if we just play a game in the background, but we talk like we're doing this?
So you came up with that idea, huh?
Well, because I was talking about Scrabble, because that wouldn't take brain power away from you talking.
All right.
You know, like that. Now, you don't really like playing Scrabble, though, do you?
No, but I was prepared to play Scrabble and do that exact same thing, and I was pitching the idea to you, and apparently you liked it so much that you wanted to tell everybody that,
you don't enjoy...
I don't enjoy...
word games.
Not when it's Scrabble coming against you, because...
Babe, it's the one thing I have. It's the one thing I'm good at. Everything else
Weaver.
I suck at. But you can let me have one thing, whereas you dominate everything else.
I don't think that's true.
I think that's true.
No.
I suck at arcade games. I don't care that I do. I still enjoy them, but because who cares? Unless it's a random chance thing, and it's kind of a level playing field. But if we ever won the lottery and there was enough for me to buy a coin pusher, like a full-size arcade coin pusher, you never see me again.
You know, I will admit, as a Scorpio, I'm so prone to win. When it comes to games, I've got to win. I got to win.
I don't know nothing about
and
that.
if I lose, I keep practicing to the point where once I can be successful at beating it, then okay, it's dead to me. I'm ready to move on.
Well,
I've invested enough time.
There is something to that method. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. The practicing and being determined. I got my little virtual butt kicked for a year or two playing Scrabble online. It was called something else because it was through Yahoo's games. But I started paying attention. Believe it or not, there is strategy with Scrabble. If you're losing and you don't feel like you can win, there is strategy to F it up for the other player. And it's by learning and memorizing or keeping a physical Scrabble dictionary next to you to learn the 1, 2, and 3 letter words and how to shove them up against other tiles where you block good plays for the other
but see,
person.
that's when I play you play all like 50 of them.
No.
And you...
No. It's now when you're able to play all 7 tiles, it's called a bingo because you do get extra points for playing all in one thing. But if you can't do that, that's kind of somewhat rare. You can only do that close to the beginning of the game because once you start filling out the board, it's nearly impossible. You don't have the spaces for 7 tiles. But there is sneaky, irritating strategy you can do if you're on the losing end. And if you don't win, you can at least irritate the snot out of the winner, make them work for it. I'd love to show that. Maybe we can do a demo part.
See, I've already
BS.
I picked the game because at least
I got it.
You could play it, and then you feel like, hey, I beat you in front of all these people.
Well, after next week, I guess we could do that, right?
Well, yeah, we're going to be building new content.
That would be something I look forward to. And then you can kick my butt, unless it's co-op, on Broforce. I've not played Broforce yet. I've got it in there, and I've got it in here.
I haven't decided a game that would be great for us to play.
Is that co-op, or is it
Broforce,
against each other?
It's co-op. It's not against each other.
Okay. We should try to do some co-op games. We, unfortunately, don't have enough friends that have time or Steam. There's games. I have a bucket list of games I'd like to play, but it's never going to happen because we just don't know people, unfortunately. Like, I still want to play Prop Hunt, but it's sort of an over and done with, passe
it's
thing.
It's yesterday, so we move on. So,
what else have I got?
Let's interject some odd news here.
Okay.
So I was going down my Facebook wall like I usually do to find interesting topics and stuff, and came across this little nugget. Let's see if I can bring it up here. It'll take everyone a second to cue in here. Let's see here. So basically, I came across this article, and
it went fuzzy.
Yeah, hold on, it's waiting to come up. This is the only part I do not like, not having
the delay.
The delay in.
Oh, it went clear again.
Do you see there it goes?
Not yet. There
Authorities found an attack squirrel in an alleged Alabama drug den where they say the owner fed the amphetamines to, or not amphetamines.
Would you like me to read it real quick?
Why don't you read it? Because
authorities found an attack squirrel in an alleged Alabama drug den where they say its owner fed it methamphetamine to keep it aggressive. The dirty, low-life scum.
So, I think that's what your thoughts on attack squirrels?
This man is an evil human being.
Well, he just looks like a thug, doesn't he?
You don't do this to any animals, whether they're wild or domesticated. It's wrong. I hope they were able to get that squirrel and help it. I hope that squirrel didn't die. And they should punish him like it's a felony.
Nobody, I thought we saw him on the side of the road, legs up. I guess he ran out of juice or something.
So, meth.
Yes.
What does it do? Does it amp you up?
It can make you aggressive, yeah.
Okay. So, squirrels are already amped up, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So, I can't imagine.
So, just put this in your mind. Da-da-dee-da-da-da-do-do. And then that squirrel
That's
just...
a hamster.
Well, I'm sure he busts a move like a hamster anyway, so...
This scum of the earth.
So anyway, that's one of my odd news for the evening. Let's see here. Get back here.
Just horrible. Just horrible.
It's deplorable. Now, this next one, some of it's kind of blurred out, but, parental guidance is suggested. So this poor man was a Russian man working out in the woods, and I guess he fell down and impaled his shoulder.
Oh, no. You showed me that, and I just couldn't deal.
I mean, and what was kind of funny, he was like, he was saying, "I'm Groot." And there was another one where he was posing like, "Hey, nothing's wrong with me. Look at me. I'm like flexing my muscles."
He looked pretty. They must have had him on some good stuff by that time, though. Painkillers?
That, or gave him a couple bottles of vodka and chilled him out,
Yeah. Look at his face.
Yeah, see these pictures, I'd show you the other pictures, but, I don't know how squeamish our cadets are. But
yeah, I don't know what YouTube would do to you.
Yeah, so I guess with that note, I'm just going to move on here. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was pretty bizarre. Not surprised, the Russians are really robust people, and can...
They're pretty stoic.
Yeah.
They're tough people. They're crazy. Mm-hmm. I admire them for that, though. Now, you know how we're always sitting around saying, well, if we ever win the lottery, ...
Mm-hmm.
Check this out and keep it in mind, babe.
All right.
Man who won lottery during divorce ordered to split jackpot with ex. A guy in Michigan won $30 million lottery jackpot while going through a divorce proceedings. So he was ordered by a court, the divorce court, to split that money.
Now, see, I think that's wrong. That woman
he couldn't have kept it quiet?
That woman shouldn't have gotten anything. And hear me out on this. They were already divorcing.
Mm-hmm.
Was it his fault that he was leaving in the situation? Or even if it wasn't, they were splitting up. I mean, what entitles her to any kind of money?
Well, you reckon their laws are like Texas laws, just 50-50?
I'm always telling you, hey, it's 50-50 here. So, of course, you don't look at it that way.
No, you told me it's Texas law.
Can I have a chip? And you say, what?
That's not Texas law. Saying you get 50% of the bag of chips. That's like when you divorce and you're splitting assets.
Well, that chip during that time is like we're like a team effort here, Team Space Cadets, and I feel like if I had some chips, I would share them with you. I don't want any chips during the program because I'm prone to choking. So,
yeah, it's not a good idea.
But I mean, like when we're sitting together, enjoying each other's company. At least I'm enjoying your company, and then, I might want a chip that I've brought to you on my way home from work or something like that to give you, and I like just give me a chip, one chip. What's it going to hurt? I know it's hard for you to share, but anyway.
Well, see, I didn't have to share growing up because my brother and sister were so much 10 to 13 years older than me. So by the time I got around to being able to share, they were gone. So it's just me.
And what cracks me up is that, your dad, being a very good church-going man, I'll quote a part of the Bible, didn't teach you there's more happiness in giving than there is receiving.
No, we must have missed that one.
Were you out on that day for Bible study?
Yeah, I was out sick.
So anyway, what else we got going on here?
Okay, so this, I don't know what's going on, and I'm concerned, but T-Mobile and Sprint are reportedly nearing a deal with Dish to save their merger. That's upsetting to me.
What's going on here?
Dish, Dish?
Oh, yeah. Do I
is
know the
negotiating a deal to buy wireless spectrum and Boost Mobile from T-Mobile and Sprint, as the latter two companies look to receive approval for their huge industry reshaping merger. So it's like they would merge and then Dish would come along going, we'll take all of that. I don't want to be on Dish Network for cellular. They're crappy.
So Sprint?
Dish has emerged as a company most likely to purchase the assets that T-Mobile and Sprint are currently trying to offload in a bid to assuage the Justice Department's concerns with the merger. This Dish, the TV satellite provider, is going to pay at least $6 billion for Boost Mobile, which is Sprint's prepaid brand. They could get it together this week or next. So the Justice Department is close to giving T-Mobile Sprint deal a thumbs up. It may happen really soon. Nationwide carrier to take Sprint's place as the fourth major U.S. player. Dish possesses a large heap of valuable spectrum. I don't know what they mean by spectrum. That is not yet able to put to use, but the Dish must start building out an actual network if it wants to hit a March 2020 federal deadline that's in place for these type of licenses. So if they add T-Mobile and Sprint assets to their stockpile, that would be in a much stronger position. And I think the only thing that is keeping Dish alive is going to these areas that can't get cable TV or cable broadband. Because that's what our mutual friend Leanne has. She's satellite TV, satellite broadband.
You know it's a good possibility it's going to kill them?
What?
5G.
Well, yeah, here we go. Sprint has insisted their coming together is necessary to build a more formidable competitor to Verizon and AT&T. The two companies say the merger is critical for an accelerated 5G build-out across the U.S. They agreed to a 5G expansion targets in order to get the FCC's blessing, because we know that the FCC has I'm trying not to say the E or the B word or the H word. They're quote unquote excited about 5G, and that makes me concerned why they're excited about it. So
I just watched this commercial where this woman was like, I just got 5G put in my home for wireless, and I tested it by going all over the house. I can even get it in my backyard where, the signal, and I was like, oh God, this lady's going to get sick.
So let me ask you something.
Okay, shoot.
'Cause I don't know much about this.
Uh-oh.
What is up with this in-game re-release?
Apparently it's got a little extra footage. I mean...
So it's 3 hours and 20 minutes long?
Maybe. People were saying, don't worry about, if you've already seen it, just wait for the video, DVD, or Blu-ray thing to come out.
Well, I kind of exhausted my stuff here.
Oh. So it's time for us to have casual conversations and.
Well, have we really addressed what's going to happen? Or you said you don't want to talk about that the next week.
Well, I was really saving it for a lot of that stuff, that topic.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I saw this earlier in the week, and I didn't think anything of it, because who cares? But me. But you're familiar with the longhorn steer that we have here in Texas, that brand, that type of cow.
Yeah.
There's a steer that has long horns that spread. So far, he made it into the Guinness World Record at 10 feet, 7.4 inches. How can that boy hold its head up? But this steer is in Alabama, and he is the Guinness World Record. He's a longhorn Texas steer. That's the type. And he's named Pancho Villa. And his span of horns from tip to tip is wider than the Statue of Liberty's face or two grand pianos pushed together. And they say he's very sweet. I saw some videos where they're like brushing him down and petting him on the head, and he puts his head down. He puts his head down as they're scratching behind his ears, like, yeah, this is the good stuff.
I thought for a second you were going to say, yeah, he's very sweet and tasty.
No, they said he's a big pet, and I think they let people come out and, pet him. Yeah. And he comes right up to the fence. He puts his nose to the fence and is like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, there's some wonderful animals.
But cows can be really sweet and curious and loving. Some of them will actually cuddle with you. That's what actually blows my mind. It's just such a shame that they're also very, very tasty. If they'd learned to stop being tasty, that would be in their favor. But unfortunately, they're very tasty. I'm looking at weird news, and it's not that weird, unfortunately. I saw this, too, on a different site. Dog hijacked police car and ate the officer's beef jerky. This is here in Texas, as in on June 17th.
I was going to say, it had to happen here.
Kilgore. You know Kilgore. A Texas police officer who stopped to try to catch a stray dog that was reported was carjacked by the same sneaky canine, which feasted on the officer's beef jerky he had up there, in the front seat. So this was a Kilgore Police Department in Kilgore, Texas. So the officer went to go respond to this report of a loose pit bull. He saw the dog running near the road. He tried to coax the dog into the back seat, which is where you put your criminals and suspects, right? So instead, the dog jumped into the driver's seat and became aggressive when the officer tried to remove it. So in a way, he hijacked the car, and he enjoyed the AC and the officer's beef jerky. So the officer texted a photo of the dog to the police chief, who replied, the dog did not look happy. He says, well, neither am I.
Can you describe the suspect?
Yeah, there's a picture. And he took it through the passenger window, and the dog's going, like, get the heck away from me.
Probably going to town on that beef jerky.
Yeah, so the good news is the animal control officer showed up, and they took Cujo into custody, and the only injury sustained in the incident was to that officer's pride. So dog's fine, and everybody else is fine too. So
okay, well, I guess on that note, let's take our break, Surlana. We'll be right back after this.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
Hey, Surlana!
What?
If Spaceboy Universe was cheese, would you eat it? Come on now, it's a simple question.
Maybe?
SpaceboyUniverse.com.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe. Here are your hosts, Spaceboy and Surlana.
All right, we're back, and I'm trying to adjust the audio. Apparently, K28 is saying we're a little bit lower than our music. Of course, you know I like to pump up the music, but hope we sound a little bit more clear for K. And Space Cadets, chime in if we're not hitting those levels. I tried to make some adjustments before we start to make us sound a little bit better than we did last week. And it's an ongoing process, so we'll continue to endeavor to make it good.
I just found a slew of interesting things, well, to me.
Hey, Surlana, do we have Skype available?
Oh,
you know, maybe a cadet might want to call in.
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about it, honestly. Let me pop that up. Oh, jeez. Every time you touch this thing, it's doing an update. Hold on.
Anyway.
But I was going to tell you about, I saw this again earlier in the week, and I don't think anything of this one in regards to the show. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting, and I move on. But a 3-year-old girl has the most terrifying themed birthday party ever. She's 3 years old. She turned 3 years old, and she wanted a nun-themed party, meaning from the movie The Nun. It's a horror film about, I guess, an evil nun. And it went viral on social media, her birthday party. So she decided she wanted a theme from the 2018 horror film The Conjuring, which is where this nun comes from, I think. Then they have The Nun movie, right?
Did a spin-off.
Spin-off. So this girl is in Monterrey, Mexico. Her name is Lucia. And she had her own nun-themed party. And she's dressed as the nun. She's got like white face and these black eyes, you know. It's really weird but kind of cute. And so she wanted, you know, this horror-themed cake, and it's got, you know, a picture of the actual character and then her name on it. And she's dressed from head to toe. They took some epic pictures and put it on the cousin's Twitter, because the cousin's older. And her friends, her same age, just like, cool. They came and had their faces painted like the nun from the movie. And the little girl said her parents didn't question it at all. They were very supportive of her wanting the theme because she was so persistent. They had to go out of their way to get a special piñata made and a cake so it would all match this horror theme. And so they tweeted it, of course, and it went viral. So after her cousin, Villarreal, that was her cousin's last name, posted this on Twitter, Lucia, by way of her cousin, received numerous celebrity shout-outs on Twitter, including praise from us director Jordan Peele, Bonnie Aarons. Now, Bonnie is the woman that plays the nun in the horror film. Jordan Peele asked if she has a godfather. I guess he wants to be her godfather. And then Bonnie Aarons tweeted out, "Happy birthday, Lucia. Happy every birthday. Happy every day." And random people, you know, started tweeting, "This better be my future child or I'll be super upset." You know, people started making fan art of Lucia and the nun. It's just like the internet knows how to take things to extremes.
Right.
But I don't know, I just thought that was funny. And while I'm looking at this post, there's these things comes up on the side here. And God, I don't know if this is true or not, but leave it to KFC, Taco Bell, you know, because they're owned by PepsiCo. Maybe that's how they dream up these insane things. KFC's loaded Cheetos sandwich is here to sabotage healthy diets. I really kind of hope this is a joke. But Cheetos KFC sandwich has been out there, they say, for a half a year, I guess, somewhere. It's a cheesy chicken monstrosity that's going to go rolling out next week on July 1st. It's coming. It's being tweeted from KFC's official Twitter. The KFC Cheetos chicken sandwich to all locations July 1st. And I'm looking at an image of it. And you know how they prettify food
right.
for professional photography.
Can
you imagine what a hot mess this looks like when you get it in your hands? Because you know what they photograph and what you get are never, ever, ever the same. They're worlds apart. So this is going to be a limited edition. And it's going to have, it's a chicken sandwich stuffed with Cheetos. Like you couldn't do this on your own, right?
Right.
Super crunchy, hand-breaded, extra crispy chicken. I just want the chicken right now. I'm hungry. I had Chinese for lunch and it's not doing much. Smothered in a Cheetos sauce, piled on a toasted bun with actual Cheetos. What the heck is Cheetos sauce? Did they melt a bunch of Cheetos and do some ungodly chemistry? So both KFC and Cheetos have dedicated fan bases loyal to the new creation. It made sense to merge them. What kind of acid trip were the people in development on? I don't know. And then, regular people are putting WTF is this on Twitter. But yeah, I don't get it. Would you, if somebody gave it to you for free, would you eat it?
I would sample it, yeah. I admit I would sample it.
Okay, that's just, I don't know. Apparently Taco Bell's doing something too, but it's not to do with food. Taco Bell wants you to stay.
Well, that sounded funny. Like, okay, a food agency is doing something that's not food related.
Taco Bell wants you to stay at Palm Springs Hotel. Get your reservations now for Taco Bell's new hotel and resort in Palm Springs, California. And it will be open in a matter of days, June 27th. Get your Taco Bell fix here. It's going to be a hotel and resort. Start looking for reservations for The Bell. That's the name of the hotel, The Bell, on June 27th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's got some pictures out there and sneak peeks of the hotel amenities. Of course, everything is themed to Taco Bell, right?
Now, this reminds me of a movie, Demolition Man.
Trying to remember that. Is that an 80s?
Apparently, Taco Bell became like this fancy place that you could go and eat, and after the great fast food wars or something like that, Sandra Bullock was in it, Sylvester Stallone, and Wesley Snipes.
First check-in begins August 8th with final check-out August 12th with no minimum night stay. If you go to Taco Bell's official Twitter, you'll see more images, and I'm looking at a photo of their swimming pool. And floating in the swimming pool are rafts that look like hot sauce packets, if I'm looking at this right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not. It's going to be $169 per night. They transformed an existing hotel into a Taco Bell themed destination. 70 rooms. You get either a 1 king size bed or 2 queen size bed, which is standard your hotels.
So they don't have a dollar menu for the rooms?
Visitors can choose a standard view room or splurge a bit on a poolside during their stay. Of course, the interior has got, like, one wall has a floor to ceiling image of Taco Bell stuff. Taco Bell framed artwork of, like, their sauces. It's just crazy. You can have a taco themed party. Outdoor bar, pools, branding comes to light, slogans, colors, designs all over the place. Taco Bell as room service. Taco Bell themed nail salon and gift shop. they're expecting rooms to sell out quickly, oddly enough. Just, mind-boggling what these things are going to, what these companies get up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I guess I'm not prepped. Hold on, but you'll like this one. You'll like this one. Hold on. Let me load this. Babe, astronomers observe warm glow of Uranus with weird rings.
Why do you put me in that? I don't have NASA staring at my butt.
You don't know.
Is there something you need to tell me?
Uranus could be hard to spot with the naked eye. However,
now I'm worried about going to the doctor this week.
However, new heat images that have been captured by 2 giant telescopes in Chile are enabling astronomers to see the warm glow of the planet's bizarre rings. Did you know Uranus had rings?
Did you notice?
I haven't been looking.
Well, you keep that barrier between us.
Yeah. These images were taken with the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array, or ALMA, and the Very Large Telescope. That's its name, the Very Large Telescope, VLT. Awesome. And these 2 devices allowed astronomers to measure the temperature of the rings, which is 77 degrees above absolute zero, whatever that means. Okay, for the first time ever, and they're showing some these are radiograms of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the ring very distinctly. It's kind of like a heat map, I guess. The heated glow gives astronomers a glimpse of these rings, which have been detected only because they reflect some light in the visible range and the near infrared. So you can't, let's say you could go there, you couldn't see these with the naked eye, maybe? I don't know. They show that the Epsilon ring, the brightest, densest ring, is different from the other rings in our solar system, like the ones that Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune have. These rings are composed of different from the other planets in that optical and infrared is lower. They're very dark. They're like charcoal. They're extremely narrow bands of the ring. You compare them to Saturn because Saturn's kind of a show-off with its rings. The widest ring of Uranus varies from 20 to 100 kilometers wide. I'm not used to saying kilometers. Whereas, Saturn's are hundreds or tens of thousands wide. They've done a composite where they, show side by side or on top of each other the rings from one planet to another. Now they think these rings could have come from former asteroids that were pulled in by the gravity, or the remains of a moon that got, blown to bits and pulled in, broken apart. It could be debris left over from 4.5 billion years ago. But they know that this epsilon ring is a bit weird because we don't see the smaller stuff. Something has been sweeping the smaller stuff out or glomming it together. They don't actually know. It's a bit of a mystery seeing it and seeing what it's made of and why it's there. See, I think that's interesting to me. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I try not to think about it too much, considering that that part of my body is going to be in hands of a doctor soon. So.
Michelle's popped in and saying she's working, but she'll see us next week. We hope so, Miss Michelle, because
next week is
we're the final countdown. Let me just put that out there real quick. Final show next week. But no, it's not the final forever, but it's the final...
How we do business.
It's the final regularly scheduled Saturday show. That part of SBU, you know, it is over, but there will be some things that come back. I don't know if it'll be a regular interval, but it'll be something. Okay. Mysterious orbs over Kansas City suspected to be alien activity. finally some alien stuff, right?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because there's been a lot of UFO news.
Has there?
Things coming up.
Where do you go to get that?
Well, just, you don't really look at news. You're so busy reading books.
No. I want to be entertained, not terrified.
But a lot of people are seeing UFO sightings, and now they're talking about, in fact, and I don't know if it was today or yesterday, that Congress was briefed on UFOs.
I think it's all it's all deliberate, and this is part of the conspiracy to tell us that they're aliens so they can do some things under the guise of trying to keep us safe when it's actually trying to limit us. They're already starting to whack away on censorship, meaning that some of our freedoms are getting taken away there, mostly online. But this is saying bizarre orbs were appearing in the Kansas City sky on Thursday night. This is June 20th, which is just, day before yesterday or something. It was a spooky sight. They thought, oh, well, it's extraterrestrials. So somebody in Kansas City posted this on Twitter, actual photos, and they received several calls about two strange orbs hovering over the Kansas City International Airport. This was a local news TV show got this. Some witnesses say these two white orbs could be weather balloons. Of course, because God knows those things are everywhere, and they've been everywhere for 50 years. The National Weather Service said, we honestly have no explanation for this. And there, of course, there are some hilarious tweets in response, as people do with photoshopping. Consumer U.S. Product Safety Commission poked fun at these orbs. I don't know if this is part of the conspiracy to make fun of it so that if it's legit, and they know it's legit, like the government, they can deconstruct it so you don't worry about it. So it could go either way, I think. They're still saying it's likely one of DARPA's test balloon flights. According to DARPA, they're responsible for the creation of emerging military technologies, and on June 18th, DARPA agency tweeted that it launched 3 balloons from Cumberland, Maryland in a test flight. So, I don't know. Do you believe any of that? It's up to you.
Let us know in the chat room, and we're about to go off to another break, so we'll be probing the chat room to see what you think. Is disclosure coming now, finally, or is it still trickling down, or do you think this is all just a waste of time? So let us know in the chat room.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
The epic battle begins this Friday. Direct from ringside at Laser Death Melt and Bot vs. Bot in Galaxy's 2-ton weight championship, where your challenger, Good Bot, will face the reigning champion, Bad Bot. You're terminated. Reserve seating starting at $30. 2-drink minimum, where ladies don't get in free. This is an SBU production.
You're listening to Spaceboy Universe.
to Spaceboy Universe. Here are your hosts, Spaceboy and Surlana.
All right, I've just been handed this from the newsroom. Tom Cruise agrees to an UFC fight with Justin Bieber.
I thought that was
Well, it
clickbait.
wasn't too long ago Justin Bieber challenged Tom Cruise to a fight. And I hope Tom Cruise kicks his,
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Tom Cruise, but Bieber is Canadian, so thank goodness we don't have that shame. He's not our burden to bear.
Not everybody from Canada is a spaz like Bieber.
No, I know that. Canadians have come and go in my life, but Tom is American, so for that reason alone, we must have him do this. Now, Tom is significantly older, but usually in camera-ready shape, right?
Usually.
So he could stand a chance to do it. My only concern is that's just clickbait, or if they do it, it's just a publicity, and they're not actually going to fight until one of them falls down. Because, if they do that, I want my money's worth, if I have to pay to watch it.
No, I think Tom Cruise is in excellent shape. The man, he does his own stunts.
Yeah.
He's
like that.
And what does Justin Bieber do?
Annoy people?
Yes.
Did we were watching something on that show Lucifer on Netflix where he was saying hell they used Bieber music to torture people. He goes, "You should have heard the screams."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's whack. All right.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for content real quick.
You want to give out the number or?
Oh, sure. Now I've got Skype open. And that number, as always, since the beginning of time, is 713-701-5214. Well, if you were going to do it, why would you ask me to do it?
Well, I just, it's better when you share.
I have yet to see that proven. You go ahead and say it again. Say the number again.
713-471.
No. Try again.
It's not. It's 701.
There's
701. Now you totally brain farted my mind here.
Show is circling the drain. Oh my God. 713-701-5214. The 4 is at the end of the number.
See, I was forgetting the 713 part. See,
yes,
I got
we are taking calls tonight. Put us out of our misery.
I have a certain rhythmic memory to the call number.
Yes, but if it's the wrong number in the wrong place, your rhythm doesn't matter.
713-701-5214.
There. Yes, we are taking calls. You can call anytime. It does not matter. I'm trying to click a link and it won't come up. Dang it. A lot of Batman news for some reason. 80 years of Batman. Has there been 80 years of Batman since the comic books?
Goes back to the early days, yes. Detective Comics.
Batman finally gets a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame.
Bruce Wayne. I know that because of the comics, how they're all set up, it's the 40th anniversary of Alien, right? The Alien franchise.
I thought that happened in April.
It's still the 40th year.
Yeah, okay.
So this YouTube site that I usually watch that covers a lot of stuff alien related, meaning to the movie franchise, was talking about the episode or comic that they put out where it had Batman meeting the aliens, and it was pretty interesting. So it was out there.
I'm trying to find some pop culture-y things here.
Is your computer muted? So you'll need to keep an eye out for Skype.
Oh, hold on. Why is it playing this? It doesn't need to play this. Yes, 713-701-5214. I'll just keep remembering.
Did you put the 4 at the end?
Yes, dear. I'm not quite as befuddled as some people get.
Surprised you didn't bring up the parsley story.
Oh my gosh, let's bring up the parsley story. So as you may have heard, Spaceboy, over the last 4 years,
Yeah, you can see.
you have a tendency to mix up your words, say the wrong word in the wrong place. Sometimes when you're really tired, this happens, especially when you come home at the end of the day from work. Mm-hmm. And this happens when you're on the phone with me or here in person. Okay, here's Bev. We'll tell Bev about it. Hold on, Bev. I got to turn up the volume. Okay, there you go.
Hi.
Hi.
How's everybody there?
Good. I'm just trying to figure out why, not you, Bev, but why is Surlana being pumped up when I try to adjust the volume?
Yeah, I can get further away. The volume on my computer is all the way up.
Okay, but I don't think it needs to be cranked. Can you adjust it to 80%?
80%?
Yeah, you don't know how to, she doesn't know numbers.
I'm trying not to make a rude hand gesture because I love you and I do respect you, but that made me want to make a rude hand gesture.
It's never stopped you.
Bev is really low, though.
Yeah, I know. I can't.
Is it on? Can I do it on Skype?
Huh.
I can't really do anything on Skype as far as volume.
It's not you, Bev. She likes to blame people sometimes.
It's not you. It's me.
Oh.
There's really no volume control.
He's happened to pump our root cellar out.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What was it? The Michigan, what's that stadium? Michigan Stadium. He posted something on Facebook about how it filled up the stadium with full of water out there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
I didn't see that.
So you're all still getting drenched out there, huh?
Oh jeez. God, today's the first day in about maybe 2 days that it hasn't rained.
Mm-hmm. That's how it's been going on in Texas, but it's not been a lot of rain.
No.
Oh man, we got torrential downpours and
yeah, we've been through that.
And then, let's see, night before, on Thursday night, we were sitting here and, well, we have our windows all open, and all of a sudden we heard this crack from outside, and it sounded like something fell. Well, Bob went out, and it was at nighttime, and he didn't see anything. Well, the next day, we have a grove of trees behind our houses. And the next day, he saw where a tree came down out of the grove, and there's a van that sits in our neighbor's backyard. That tree smushed it like a pancake.
Wow.
Wow.
And it wasn't windy, it wasn't raining.
I guess it's because the ground is so saturated with water,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, and there's it's like a big dip in the back of the yard by the railroad tracks. That sucker fills up with water, and well, here we had mallards in the grove of trees back there because there was so much water. It's like, dang.
So how close has the water gotten up to the house?
Oh, it's not anywhere near the house.
That's good.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, it's just, God, I'll tell you, I've never seen no so much rain. And then yesterday, it looked like, that white fuzzy stuff from dogwood trees.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was...
Bless you.
Oh, sorry. But, that was, there was a bunch of it in the falling, and it looked like snow. And, of course, I'm allergic to them. So...
Is that what's giving you the sniffles and the sneezes?
Oh, my allergies are terrible. I'm allergic to almost everything outside.
So, since the last time we talked to you, you had gotten a new car. How's that going now? Is everything in order?
Yes. We've got the 30-day, they're 45-day tags now. We just went out and got them yesterday. And, we had a graduation party for my great-nephew today. Well, I went, but Bob couldn't go because he had to spend the day using a sump pump to get the water out of a root cellar.
Yeah.
So and I drove the car, and it felt so good to drive again.
The independence, freedom, right? Freedom.
Yeah. My wings have been clipped for over a year. Because the exhaust fumes are so bad in the Honda, I couldn't hardly drive it because it made it hard for me to breathe.
I can imagine.
Oh. So.
Did you bring him back some food from the graduation?
Yes, I did.
Oh, see, that's a good wife.
Nice.
See?
Yeah.
Keep him happy. You brought some food back for the husband.
I asked you, did you want anything from the Chinese restaurant that I was going to get today? And I didn't have to do that. I could have just got up and walked right out the door. But I said, hey, do you want anything? So I want that noted and recorded and remembered.
Yeah, but usually you give me the stink eye if I like, hey, can I have an Oreo? And no, you can't have any of my 50,000 cookies. I have stuffed Oreos, double stuffed Oreo cookies.
I barely ate those because I wasn't feeling well.
And see, and that is a good. So she barely ate them, wasted cookies, and yet she wouldn't let me have at least one.
Yeah, I think I gave you 3.
Yeah,
you asked for them.
After I gave you puppy dog eyes and.
Well, you are pretty pitiful sometimes.
All right, Bev.
Oh, geez.
I want you to know you made me very sad today with one of your posts.
About what?
It was this poor dog that somebody abandoned, who couldn't walk. He had a wheelchair on him, and they abandoned him along with a bag of diapers and just left him there. Which one?
Yeah,
that person needs to be smacked around, that poor dog, but at least it had a happy ending to it.
Yes, it did. It did.
Mm-hmm.
It did.
You know, while I was kind of reading the article, I had Sarah McLachlan.
Oh God, that song
playing in my head. I don't know if you're familiar with that commercial where she's done these.
In the Arms of an Angel.
In the Arms of the Angel.
While they're showing these sad cats and dogs in shelters that are not being adopted.
For the Humane Society.
Yeah.
I have found that that as I approach 50, I'm turning into my mom. My mom was the same way. So is my aunt. When it comes to our family's been dog lovers. We've loved dogs.
Oh yeah.
And so
we've had dogs all of our lives as kids.
Yeah. So yeah, I started to tear up there, and just some sad stuff. But at least it was with a happy ending.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that, people that do that, man, they just, there's no place in society for people like that.
Well, there is one place, but, that's down below, and I'm not going to go there, but, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when we got Roxy, we got her from Oak Harbor. It's up by Toledo, the rescue center, and she loved me, but she was so afraid of Bob at first. Well, I guess when they got her, she had been really abused. She had a couple broken ribs, and and so we surmised that it was a guy that mistreated her really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took her a while to make up to Bob, but she did. So we had her for 2 years, but it was probably the best 2 years of her life, too. I mean, we feel that our animals are our kids.
Oh, I totally agree with you.
I mean,
the way Surlana treats our cat.
What? What do I do?
I mean, you give her hugs and extreme hugs and.
Well, I do it till she starts wiggling like, okay, I've had enough. But you've seen what I do. She likes to stand on my lap while I'm sitting in my recliner, and I can sit there and beat her like a set of bongos, like not hard, but I mean pretty vigorously, and she just stands there and listens like, yeah, more. It's like weird 50 Shades of Grey cat. And then I made my hands into fists, like I was doing, like, you know how you can massage somebody by beating them with your fist. So I did that from her neck to the top of her tail, and she just stood there like, this is awesome, keep doing it. And I stopped, and she looked up at me, and then she fell over and onto my torso like, like it was just the most awesome thing. And I mean, I stopped just short of what I think might hurt her when I, kind of pat on her. But you can spank her. I'm talking like spanking on the side pretty vigorously. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you sick little weirdo.
Beat me more, Mommy.
Yes.
Beat me more.
Then there is actually cat spanking videos on YouTube of people spanking her cats, and like, I don't restrain her at all when she's in my lap. I'm using both hands, and she can get away. I keep waiting for her to like turn around and take a chunk out of me, but she never has. She seems to like it. It's very strange. And I told her last night, I said, you are the weirdest cat I have ever known. I've never known a cat
Elliot.
that wants to be beat this hard,
Uh-huh.
Weird.
And Elliot loves to have his tummy rubbed.
That's normal, though. That's normal.
Yeah, we never had a cat that did that.
Well, cats are individuals just like humans are. And they all have their quirks, and one cat doesn't want you to do this cat wants you to do that. Some cats don't like water. Some cats will just go put their head under a faucet. Muffin hates water. She drinks it, but when I go to fill her water dish, like if I just go get a cup and I just stand there and let it pour from the height I'm standing. I don't bother bending over if I don't have to. And she will go and sit as far away as possible from her water dish, but she wants to watch. She wants to make sure I'm doing it. And it's like she minimizes all her risk of splash. It's just that she watches from a safe distance, and then when I get the water in there, she waits till I leave, because for some reason she doesn't want me to see her drinking water. I had never understood why she doesn't want me to see her drinking water. I mean, I know how she does it, but I guess she doesn't want me to risk disturbing the water or anything. But she drinks in secret, but she likes it when I'm near her when she's eating. She'll eat more if I'm there, which is strange because you would think most cats are territorial, like stay away from my stuff, but she knows we're the provider. But she's just got these bizarre quirks, but you can't help but love that, and it's just awesome. which is the reason I keep my husband around. He has so many bizarre quirks that I just think he's fun to be around. And one of them, Bev, is this grandpa-like ability he has to mess up his words or pronounce it just wrong enough, or he puts the wrong word in for another word when he means something else, but he says the wrong word. He told me about 2 days ago, we'd just gotten home from work, because we get home now at the same time, and I could tell he was tired. And I don't know what crazy thing I said to him, and what he was trying to tell me was he thinks I have early onset palsy or something like that, or Parkinson's, I don't know.
Because she was sitting in her chair kind of winking at me.
I saw that post. I like what you said.
I was like, well, because I winked at him, he thinks the world is ending. You know, it's my own husband. Because he's tired and he's a little befuddled, and he says, I think you have early onset parsley. And I was thinking, I wonder if there's a cure for that. Is it dillweed? I mean...
Just a second, hon. Hey, Bob! He can't hear me.
But anyway, that's why I keep him around. And I asked my friend Leanne, I said, what condition does my husband have? Because obviously he has a condition because he's saying all the wrong words, and he's telling me I have herbs and spices as disorders, and she says he has cilantro. Leave it to her to give the smackdown, you know. But yeah. But that's why I keep him around. And you want to hear another one that's a little bit more racy? He was on the phone with me, Bev, this week, and when he's in his vehicle, he's got a lot more background road noise that kind of distorts. So sometimes I can't quite clearly understand what he's saying due to the background noise when he's driving. So he's on the phone to me driving, and I'm in my car driving home, and he's been having a problem with the radiator in his vehicle leaking, which we had fixed, but it's still leaking. So he's trying to, is it antifreeze you put in there? Radiator fluid. It's radiator fluid, but what's antifreeze too?
Yeah.
So he kept telling me something about anti-freeze, but he said anti, you know, because we're Texans, we're anti. And I swear I thought he said panty freeze. And I was like, wait, what? First of all, what is panty-freeze? 2, where are you getting it? 3, what the heck are you doing with it? And he says, antifreeze. And I'm like, okay, well, I think panty-freeze sounds more interesting anyway. So these are the conversations we have, you know.
That's like when Bob had drove to Brazil, Indiana to get Peanut, our dog that we had that was a Beagle and Dachshund mixed. And he's talking to me on the phone in the truck, and he says, he was telling me his name, and it sounded like he was saying penis.
Yes.
And I said, what? Penis.
I always thought peanut sounded like that.
What kind of human being would name a dog after a male organ? He says, no, peanut. Peanut. Oh, God. So we kind of nicknamed him Penis.
Well, sure, why not?
But it was our inside joke. Oh, that was too funny. But yeah, I mean, when you're on the phone, it is, and there's noise in the background, it is hard to understand. But it was funny.
Yeah, but his road noise can get pretty bad, and sometimes his headphones are not great. But I don't mind that because it makes for good conversation.
I bet it does. Oh, God. And then when we got Roxy, her real name was Oxiana, and we always shortened it. And Bob says, well, I think I'll change her name to Roxyana, and we'll call her Roxy for short. He said, I don't think it would go too well to nick for her shorter name to be Oxy.
Yeah, people think you named her Oxycontin or something.
Yeah.
Which is still, hey, that's still kind of a cool name for an animal. Is it?
So we would call her Roxy Mama.
Well, Bev, I'm so glad you called in, and I look forward. We'll probably hear from you next week, hopefully, because that will be our last show of this version of Spaceboy Universe. We won't be gone forever, but hopefully you'll be with us next Saturday night.
Oh, we will be.
Okay, so we'll
come hell or high water.
We will look for you then.
Okay, and with all the rain we've been having, it might be high water.
Yep, it might be.
Oh God.
Okay, well, we're going to catch you then, and as usual, you can always catch us on social media too. So we look forward to talking with you then.
Well, we will talk to you then.
Thank you, ma'am.
One, we love you.
Love you too, Bev.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's always good to talk to our marriage counselor. Work things out.
Mm-hmm. We'll be right back after this.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
Greetings, Space Cadets. Let's see what's in the sky tonight in the Spaceboy Universe. Tonight, in the eastern sky, we have Spaceboy Universe rising above the horizon in glorious splendor. And in the west, we can see Surlana's Majoris, which is visible at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, just below the K-28 belt. So keep your eyes on the sky and listen to Spaceboy Universe.
I'm Solaris Blue Ribbon, and I'm listening to Spaceboy Universe.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe. Here are your hosts, Spaceboy and Surlana.
Actually, it's Spaceboy, and we are back. Or I'm back. Surlana had to step away from the mic. Apparently, I was just too dang funny during the break, and so she had to run off for a minute to regain some oxygen. But other than that, while it's you and I, Space Cadets, the future of the SBU as we know it will be coming to an end next Saturday. As we move forward, we will not be, it's not going to be 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time Saturday nights, but that's not to say that if we do a broadcast, we wouldn't do it at that time, live that is. It's just the Spreaker thing has gone away. We're going to trim down monies where we can so that we can continue to provide content and focus on our YouTube channel, and that way you'll get to hear, see, and interact with the SBU team here. So that'll be the cool stuff that we have coming down the pipe. You're here. Just come on, sit down. You've been chomping down on chips. Everybody can hear you.
All right. I had to run into another room and come back. Sorry about that. Let me get my headphones back on.
Your mic is hot.
Yes. It's not the only thing that's hot. Anyway, so where are we here?
I was just telling the cadets that, we will be changing the way we do things. And
yes.
We'll be less live, but I mean, we'll still do occasional live things.
We'll pop up unexpectedly here and there. I imagine that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So, again, I guess we need to discuss that in more detail amongst you and I, and then get all this stuff together for next week.
Yeah, so get it all together.
I'll have things. And as usual, if you really want to know what's going on, if you're following us on any of the social media, that's your key to find out when we'll appear, if we do. So,
like many of you follow the Space Cadets who like Spaceboy Universe. A lot of that stuff gets put there. And also something in the near future, the SBU site will be kind of revamped, cleaned up.
It'll be more minimal. It'll just be a place to communicate and find us. We'll keep the shop open since that's not costing us anything. So, as a matter of fact, I may add more designs, believe it or not. So
we'll probably gravitate to the YouTube channel's chat room.
Yeah.
And use that, and I guess a lot of the stuff on the SBU will go away, so we can streamline what we do.
Hi, Miss Michelle. She's off work now, so she's back. So you've heard of the concept of life hacks, like little hacks you can do to make your life better. Well, how about some unethical life hacks?
Still to make your life better?
Yeah, your life, not someone else's.
Okay.
For instance, let's say somebody invites you somewhere and you don't want to go. Well, this is what you do. The next time you have a flat tire, take a picture of it and keep it on your phone. So when you want to bail on an event or skip work, you send them that picture and you say, I got a flat tire. I'm sorry, I can't do it. That's pretty clever, I think.
Yeah.
If you have to bury a body, let's see, you just got to do it. Dig twice as deep as you normally would. Then you bury a dead dog halfway above it. That'll be the end of it. Don't call in to work sick. Call in saying you're having family problems, and that will end all discussions. So, that... now, I've heard this one a long time. This has been around a long time. Spill some of your drink on the seat in front of you at the cinema to prevent anyone else from sitting there. I would argue you should do that to the person behind you if there's no one there. You should spill some drink on behind you. That way they can't kick your seat. Although we don't experience that anymore with the kind of seating we have now at, the stadium seating. I don't think you can
Cinemark.
reach the back of someone's seat anymore.
Actually, you'd be surprised. I've actually been kicked.
Really?
Yeah, it's usually their feet are close to my headrest.
Huh. Now that's really underhanded and going pretty far. All right, if you live in a major city where daily parking costs are super high, find an auto shop with an inexpensive tire rotation offer. Take them up on the offer and say you have some errands to run and you can come back later and pick it up that day, so you've got free parking for the day. Although it costs you the tire rotation. Buy an item at an electronics store, open it, return said item, check back in a day later to see if it's in the open box table, and buy it again for 30% off. That's taking a gamble. Next time someone gives you, or you find one of these fake dollar bills where half of it looks like a 20, but the other half is like blank but has print on it, just like marketing gimmick. Take that, especially one that has a Bible verse on it, and put it in the collection plate at church.
That's wrong.
That's so wrong. Oh my gosh. Buy a baby on board sign regardless of your parenthood status. If you happen to be in a nasty crash, paramedics and firemen will come to your car first. That is wickedly dishonest. Try to tell a few lies. Do it really poorly. Confess to being a terrible liar. Do it periodically for things that don't matter, and your actual lies will go undetected. That's playing mind games with people. So, all right. So this one takes a little prep work. You've got to be paying attention to if you've got your caller ID and you know your friends are all in there, whatever. So if you get a call on your cell phone for someone you don't want to talk to but must talk to, start the conversation saying your phone is about to die. Then you're free to hang up whenever you want to during the conversation without seeming rude. That's actually pretty good. But those are just some unethical life hacks you can do. I haven't been to this site in forever. So I told you before the show began about this because I thought it was funny. Okay. There is a group out there who put together a petition with 20,000 signatures. They asked Netflix to please cancel the original series, Good Omens, because they say it promotes a vision of Satan as too lighthearted and sympathizable, and that's not what people should be thinking when they think of the devil. So the problem with that is Good Omens isn't on Netflix, and it never has been. It is an original series put together by Amazon, and it's on Amazon Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can watch it for free, which we did. So, and it's a biblically themed show where an angel and I guess one of the prime demons lose the Antichrist. They misplace him. And that's based on stories by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I don't know. So this group, of course, this makes sense that there'd be religious groups that protest this. I'm not surprised at all, but the problem is how wrong they got this. So Netflix UK and Ireland at Netflix UK said, okay, we promise not to make any more, because they didn't make it in the first place. It's not on Netflix. It's never been on Netflix. It's a brand new release as of May 31st on Amazon Prime. So Amazon's Twitter responded, Amazon Prime Video US, hey, at Netflix, we'll cancel Stranger Things if you cancel Good Omens. Because Stranger Things is an original series on Netflix, and it's only ever been on Netflix. So, the outcome of this is everybody mocking it to pieces because of this petition. So, I mean, it really, if you've got a plan to do something, it can be terribly undermined if you get a detail wrong. Like, let's get rid of this show. Well, make sure you know what network it's on. I just thought that was hysterical. And I think we're in this world where, normally you have to have lawyers come out and talk, but now you can just get on Twitter and smack talk each other like, hey, Amazon, hey, Netflix. And I credit this to Wendy's. Wendy's was the first company to come out with these scathing smackdowns, which are freaking awesome, by the way. If you ever checked out Wendy's Twitter feed, freaking hilarious. I highly recommend it. But yeah, I enjoy these unethical hacks. Let's see. I've lost my little thing here. We did the Taco Bell thing, didn't we? Would you stay if you got a free airfare and a free 2 nights in a hotel? Would you stay at the Taco Bell hotel?
Sure, if it's free.
If it's free. But yeah.
You couldn't beat that with a stick. Now, is it flying over? Was it at an island or what?
What?
The Taco Bell hotel.
No, this is in California.
Oh, well, now I'm thinking twice.
Yeah.
What part of California?
I've already clicked off it.
Oh.
I told you that when I was talking about it. Hold on, I can get it back. And Taco Bell. Nope, it's gone. Tech. This robot fish is powered by blood. Actual blood. Untethered robots have a serious stamina problem. Oh, sure. So if you have a robot running on battery, right? It's got to be limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a paper that's published.
Apparently, I'm rubbing off on you.
In the journal Nature, where the team who put this together, they describe a circulating liquid, quote unquote, robot blood, if you will, that can power applications for long duration tasks. Now, this is interesting. It's like, I guess, how our blood works to get the nutrients and blah, 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 In nature, of course, we see this. How long an organism can operate doing sophisticated tasks. We can work for 8 hours or 12 hours at one pop, right? Robots can't do this because of their need for the energy coming from like a lithium ion battery, or they have to be tethered to some kind of power unit on a wall. So they've been inspired by biology to increase a system's energy density while allowing soft robots to remain mobile longer. I guess these aren't the rigid, things like Boston. The stuff that we see at Boston Dynamics do is pretty amazing. But do you ever stop to think they can't go very far, very long? Those robots that look like dogs and people, But if you have a synthetic vascular system capable of pumping something like a hydraulic fluid that has energy in it, whatever it takes to get it done inside this liquid, like motor oil maybe, These soft robots are mostly fluid anyway. They get a little bit more juice out of it. But so they created this bot that looks like a lionfish, if you know the spikes and everything. But it's soft and squishy, right? And it was designed to be flexible on the outside with silicone skin, flexible electrodes inside to allow it to sort of bend and move like its real fish counterpart, that the way they kind of wiggle back and forth. So it swims using power transmitted to its fins from a flow cell battery. They designed it to swim upstream for an impressive 36 or more hours. But see, that still means it needs recharging and can't be left alone for tasks. I don't know what task a robotic fish would do for you. But so if they have hydraulics instead of a battery to fuel it, it would be more like a real fish. If a fish could do tasks, a little fuzzy on why they chose this fish form, but I'm not a scientist, and I was a liberal arts major, so there you go. Welcome to new chatter in the YouTube chat. Hello there. Let's see. And yes, I'm looking at things on the fly because I didn't prep, but I will promise I'll try to do better prep work on our last show for next week because I'll have more time. Apparently that Good Omens was based on something that has a fan base already because it was a published work.
It's in the vein of Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yes. So what's this all about? Just like everyone else on the internet, Marvel has been courting Keanu Reeves. So this is Keanu Reeves' year, if you didn't know. The man could do no wrong, and everybody loves him and thinks he's sad and lonely, and everybody wants him to be their boyfriend. Marvel has apparently had their eye on him. Now, I was under the impression that Constantine was a comic first. But I don't know what...
DC.
Is it DC? Okay, so I would think if anything he'd be, DC. But they're thirsting after him, let's say. So they interviewed Kevin Feige. He's the president of Marvel Studios. And he just had a recent interview with comicbook.com. And Feige was asked if he had spoken with a Matrix actor, meaning Reeves, about joining up in a Marvel film. And so Feige said, we talk to him for almost every film we make. So Marvel wants Keanu in something. We talked to him. We don't know when or if he'll ever join the MCU, but we very, very much want to figure out a way to do it. I don't know if it's because he's hot property or just he's so doggone likable you can't help yourself. You just want him in everything.
Well, it's just like Angelina Jolie wants to be a part of one of the Eternals, I believe, in the Phase 4 Marvel.
I imagine if you're Angelina Jolie and you ask for something, you get it, right?
Yeah, I would imagine you get it.
You'd be all over this, wouldn't you, for Reeves to...
Yeah, I mean, I like him. Speaking of him, they've started writing the next Matrix movie.
I heard that, and I heard that he would be maybe amenable or have some kind of something to do with it. I mean, if he's open to doing Bill and Ted 3, what won't the man do, So...
He's kind of like doing the Samuel L. Jackson thing. He'll do anything.
I'm in a movie. I'm happy and I'm making money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way. Samuel L. Jackson, I never cared much for him one way or the other, but when he said, I loved Snakes on the Plane, I don't care if you didn't like it or if it was a bad movie. I had a great time making it film, and I'll make Snakes on the Plane 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm like, well, good for you.
Because he's getting paid.
He's working and he's getting paid and he's having fun. What do you care what anyone thinks, right? My only criticism with this article goes on about Keanu. It said, one of the first characters that comes to mind for him to play is Reed Richards. And I'm like, ugh. I just don't get anything out of the Fantastic Four.
The person I want to play Reed Richards.
No, who?
Is Jim from The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been some pictures.
He looks a little...
Yeah, they got him kind of made up to, with the white hair on the side, and
I saw the first one that came out, the first Fantastic Four movie,
and they want his wife to play I can't think of Invisigirl kind of thing, yeah.
The problem I think I have most with Fantastic Four is the first movie was just so blah. And then everything that came after was even worse. But Venture Brothers has ruined a lot of comic book based characters for me that go to film because they parodied it already. And Fantastic Four is something Venture Brothers eviscerated very well. Because I think they might agree with me, the guys who make Venture Brothers animated TV show.
It started with Dr. Orpheus.
I love Dr. Orpheus, though. He's not like taking a knife and like stabbing, original. It's kind of like an homage, a funny homage. Whereas the characters in Venture Brothers that are supposed to be like Reed Richards and Invisigirl, those are not flattering at all. But I still enjoyed that because I like that take. Because I don't like those characters anyway. So I really appreciated what they did there. So, so Keanu playing Reed Richards, I mean, there better be some darn good writing on that script. Another possibility for him in the MCU, they're saying maybe an older version of Namor, the Submariner. Am I saying that right? Which is Marvel's anti-hero Aquaman. Fans also have suggested Adam Warlock, which we're being teased about in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That would be pretty cool, yeah.
Somebody says they were really upset that he wasn't cast as Doctor Strange. But I do think Cumberbatch does a decent job.
I thought, although now you bring that up, I think that he probably could have done a good Doctor Strange.
Maybe, but they're saying maybe Taskmaster. I've never heard of that. I don't know who that is. Kraven the Hunter. I don't know who that is because I'm not, embedded in this lore. But they would like definitely to see him somehow.
Because they know he's a box office draw.
Feige also asked about.
And plus, he's no Brie Larson.
God, thank God. Anyway, so Kevin Feige was also asked about Donnie Yen, and Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, if they may have a place in the MCU, and he said they were both good actors, and it would be fun to see them in MCU. Nothing specific right now on the table. She's going to be in Godzilla versus King Kong. She's going to be in, what's the one that's already out now? King of Monsters or something. They would also love to see her as Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl. Hopefully not on meth. I would be interested in seeing that. I think she's a good actor. I think she's a really great actor. I would like to see her in more things. I'd like to see her branch out and do different things. So, but I'd love to see Keanu in. Now, do you think he could play a villain? Because he's always been in these such good roles, or he's the, underdog where, John Wick, he's a good guy, but he has to do bad things because,
They killed his dog.
They killed his dog, man. But do you think Keanu could put off being a villain?
Yeah,
we're so used to him being.
I'm sure he could.
Good.
He'd be a tough villain. Probably
so?
Ultimate boss in a video game. The final boss. Had to go against him, and it'd be rough.
Are you gonna bother to see the extended version of Endgame?
No, because I'm waiting for it on video so I can pause it and watch it on our big screen.
Okay, that's fair enough. I'm already kind of ready to see it again. We saw it in what?
I'm
May?
ready too.
No, April.
I think it comes out in August that you'll be able to get a digital download.
That's like, another month or two?
Not too far off.
Okay. But what absolutely stunned me is the fact, you buy almost every movie you've ever seen that you like, I've noticed.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised to learn you said you were, especially when it comes to the MCU, you get them all, but you said, I am not buying Captain Marvel.
I haven't. I'm not going to buy that crap.
Wow. That really stunned me. I've seen you buy movies I think were like, why would you buy? That was not a great movie, but you've done it.
Like what? Can you name a movie that?
Well, I'd have to bring up Let me see if I can bring up
the library queue.
Bring up the library queue on my phone. No, that's Kindle. That's not Amazon.
While we're doing that, let's go take our last break of the evening here. So stand by while Surlana does some research and put me in my place.
Where's the library? It's under purchases.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
Greetings, Space Cadets. Let's see what's in the sky tonight in the Spaceboy Universe. Tonight, in the eastern sky, we have Spaceboy Universe rising above the horizon in glorious splendor. And in the west, we can see Surlana's Majoris, which is visible at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, just below the K-28 belt. So keep your eyes on the sky and listen to Spaceboy Universe.
I'm Solaris Blurvid, and I'm listening to Spaceboy Universe.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe. Here are your hosts, Spaceboy and Surlana.
Going back.
We're back, and we're live, and we're hot on the mic, Surlana.
I'll just go ahead and tell you this. I was trying to tell you this during the break, but I didn't realize the break was so short. I'm looking at just a website, and it has a screenshot of just a random person's tweet. And this person tweeted, sorry, When I told my parents over the phone that my husband has the flu, my dad said, "Have you tried euthanasia?" And in the background, my mom yelled, "For the last time, it's echinacea." She's going to have him put him down. That's the flu. That was great. Oh, it was good stuff.
So I pulled up my list of movies that are in the library.
Yeah, I got it up here too.
And I'm just kind of going through, and I see ones that don't interest you at all, and then I've seen movies I've bought that I haven't watched yet that I intend to watch. And
well, let's look at your good decisions. Let's see.
I'm open to.
You finally got the first Iron Man because I realized we didn't have it, and you need all of the MCU with the exception of Captain Marvel. Let's see. Aquaman was strangely enjoyable.
Yes.
Let's see. Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. I actually enjoyed that more than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I have these sorted, I guess, by recently added.
Yeah, it looks that way. That's the way I have it sorted.
You bought me The Party, which was very kind of you. It was for Christmas, starring Peter Sellers. You also bought me National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which was very kind of you. And you bought me Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, which is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very appreciative of that. I need to watch the Bob Lazar thing. I've not watched it.
It's interesting, yeah.
I, strangely enough, enjoyed Venom if you can get through the first 30 minutes. Now, that Happy Time Murders, that couldn't have been a good movie. I didn't see that.
It was like... It was a time killer. It wasn't a great movie. I was kind of disappointed because I do like Melissa as an actress.
Yeah, I love Melissa McCarthy. She's cool, but she doesn't always make the best decisions. Of course, Deadpool 2, which that was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you've got all the MCU. Ready Player One, which I have a riff tracks for that I need to listen to. I could have done without the movie The Shape of Water, but we didn't know that was going to suck until we watched it.
But, and then there's Won't You Be My Neighbor?
I haven't seen that.
About Mr. Rogers.
But if I want a feel-good thing, I'm sure that's a great thing to watch.
I like how that movie's wedged between The Equalizer 2 and The Meg.
Yeah. I didn't care for that movie Colossal, but there was no way to know what that was until you saw it.
Colossal.
With Anne Hathaway.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was kind of an indie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, that was a good idea. Spider-Man Homecoming, that was a good idea. I enjoyed the movie Absolutely Anything, which is one of Robin Williams' last movies, like close to one of his last movies before he passed away, and it has Simon Pegg in it.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually an enjoyable comedy.
Yes, it had Kate Beckinsale.
Mm-hmm. And you bought me The Penguins of Madagascar. Oh my gosh, I freaking love this film. It's a spinoff from Madagascar,
mm-hmm.
the DreamWorks animation. These penguins are hilarious. Of course,
that was. I guess I got into that because I watched the whole series of Madagascar where it had King Julian,
mm-hmm.
and that was kind of funny to watch.
Of course, you have the original RoboCop because you're a sensible person. You've got both John Wicks as they're available right now.
Mm-hmm.
Snowden was very informative. I think if you haven't seen Snowden about John Snowden, try to see if you can at least rent it. If you're on Amazon Prime, you can just watch it for free. It's worth knowing. It's very much worth knowing. Star Trek Beyond, the only good Star Trek from that cast. Deadpool, of course, you got that for me. Now, I watched Cabin in the Woods because Cabin in the Woods was very different from any other quote-unquote horror movie because it has such an unexpected twist.
The twist to it is very interesting.
So if you're not easily scared, do watch that. I don't want to see a Plan 9 remake, sorry.
Actually, that had our good friend of the show, Mr. Lobos, in that.
And he's awesome, and I like him a lot, but I'm not going to watch this film. Thank you.
Even a brief appearance from the Angry Video Game Nerd is in it too.
Well, if you're not in it, I don't give a crap. So, Xanadu, which, because when we were dating, we both found out we're the only two people left on Earth that actually, one, have seen that movie, and two, like it. So that's kind of how we knew we needed to stay together.
The music's good, but
Yes.
watching it is kind of cringy.
It's kind of painful to watch nowadays because it's a dated musical, but I still love the music. And if you're on Spotify, the soundtrack's there. The Xanadu soundtrack is there.
Mm-hmm.
The Martian was a very good movie.
That was one of those that I had purchased the audiobook and knew that I wanted to see the movie.
Terminator Genesis couldn't have been that good. I didn't see it. It just couldn't have been that good. I did enjoy Frequently Asked Questions About Time Travel, which is a British movie. I enjoyed that. Spy with Melissa McCarthy. That was actually one of her better films she's made. If you discount her role in Bridesmaids, because she was just a supporting actor, where here she's the lead. I watched Interstellar, but I tell you what, I don't get it. It's becoming revered in the way that 2001: A Space Odyssey is revered, and I don't get it.
I thought that was a great movie.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I don't get it.
Even the music was awesome too.
I don't recall the music, but I'll take your word for it. Boy, you've got a lot of time travel movies in here. And then, of course...
Well, I like time travel movies.
Here is every Star Wars film known to man, including Solo and Rogue One. Rogue One was good. They need to take whatever they did with Rogue One and apply that to everything else. That would have really helped them out.
See, I'm surprised you said, you said Solo, but you didn't say, hey... But you didn't go see that in the movie theater.
Nope.
And isn't that the movie that got totally bombarded by the fandom out there? And you're absolutely right. Now, I've seen Solo, and it's actually not a terribly bad movie, but I know that it really got canned because of what happened with the Last Jedi. Speaking of time travel movies, Predestination is an awesome movie.
I've never heard of that.
That will just warp your mind beyond belief. You should definitely check Predestination out. And then we both like Lucy.
Lucy, they're saying that if they hadn't done a Black Widow movie or never considered doing Black Widow movie, go see Lucy, because this is still what's her face kicking butt.
Scarlett
Johansson. 3 things you bought me because they're 80s classics, and I very much appreciate you buying me this. You bought me Explorers, starring a young River Phoenix and a very young Ethan Hawke as kids. That's sort of that's a great movie up until the last 30 minutes, and then it goes off on this wacky, weird thing, but still worth a look. You can sit down with your children and watch it, although kids today probably wouldn't stand for this kind of low-budget cheesiness. But, of course, Working Girl is a classic. Sigourney Weaver and Harrison Ford are in it. And then, of course, Lady Hawk. These are total chick flicks.
Didn't Alan Parsons Project write the soundtrack for Lady Hawk?
I don't know. I would have to look that up, but... The weird part is Lady Hawk takes place in a fictional fantasy, kind of like medieval times, alternate universe, yet the soundtrack is heavy with synths. Like somebody made the entire soundtrack on a Casio or something like that. But that adds to its charm. It feels like an 80s made-for-TV movie, but it is a good film and has a happy ending in it. So, I didn't see Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson. I don't know what that's about.
She plays an alien.
Why is it on there twice?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to watch The Hobbit. I don't want to watch Lord of the Rings. I just don't. But you bought me The Fifth Element because that's one of my secret guilty pleasures. And of course, you bought UHF because we both love Weird Al Yankovic, and I adore that movie. It is another 80s classic, and if you've never seen it, it's one of these funny parody videos for the most part, even though it has a plot and everything. Okay, bad decision. Here's one of your first bad decisions I can see. You bought RoboCop, the remake. You should just not have done that. Just don't give them money. You can't replace the real one. That was just pointless.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I still love the original. I mean,
yes.
You can't beat the original.
You can't beat. It's so.
Because I'd buy that for $1.
You know what that reminds me of? Starship Troopers. And I know you say, wait a minute, these are two different, but it's got that, would you like to know more feel to it? Kind of
that's
kitschy.
That propaganda
feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the Despicable Me movies, but not to the point where I want to watch them over and over. But
every day is awesome.
Pretty much all you've got here. You've got some classics: The Big Sleep, The Maltese Falcon.
Well, I'm a big Humphrey Bogart fan.
Yeah. So.
I mean, sometimes when I go to sleep, I'll listen to the Maltese Falcon.
Now, I don't see anything that's egregious under the TV. Of course, you watch the Orville. I can't stand him, but I'll let you do your thing. And when you're watching it, I just leave the room and go find something else to do. American Horror Story, don't care for it, never seen it.
So
just leave the room.
You see that I gave the new Doctor a chance.
I see that you gave the new Doctor a chance, but I think you're still a little too old school, maybe, to get into it with Doctor Who. Let's see. There's a lot of strange things you've got under TV.
Well, I have.
You bought Ghost Adventures.
It was for a particular.
Were you taking medication?
It was a particular episode, and I cannot remember. It was I think it was the Sky, John Edmonds, Sky Ranch or whatever.
They went to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotcha.
And so I was curious to see their investigation on it. You know how I feel about that guy.
You have DuckTales. Is this the original or the new one?
This is the updated version.
Okay, that's pretty funny. American Ripper. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's with our good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. We interviewed him.
I can't. Yeah, Mr. Holmes is.
Jeff Mudgett.
Jeff Mudgett. Yes, thank you.
I regret that we won't be interviewing people anymore.
That's not to say we can't.
But usually people don't want to appear on a show that happens occasionally.
And that makes it a special thing.
We'll see. But I love Drunk History, which I think we can pick up on Hulu now. People get together and get drunk and try to tell you what happened in history, an event that happened in history, a real story that's true that you can look up and verify. But they try to tell you this stuff while they're drunk. And they take the dialogue of the drunk person and they reenact it, and they keep every burp, every comment they make in the historical reenactment, and that absolutely kills me. We're so behind on Archer, but you did get some. My feelings about your Fast and Loud show, which I guess is not on anymore.
No, I've kind of given up on that since Aaron left the show. He has his own show now, but just not the same. Without Richard's loudmouth and that particular.
And then the point of contention between us, although the contention is more on your side, *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Yes,
because I won't watch it.
A great show.
I won't watch it.
Deals with technology.
It looks boring.
It is a good show, and I'm sure many of the cadets that have seen it would back me up on this. *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Of course, we've got all Better Call Saul, The Venture Brothers, which continues to go to newer and weirder and more bizarre plot points, but I kind of like that. So, of course, you watched the Star Wars animated series, whatever that is.
The Rebels.
Yeah. You and your addiction to Fixer Upper.
Well, I like Chip and Joanna Gaines. They're just nice
and they live
people.
here in Texas too.
Yeah, they live in Waco.
Of course, Rick and Morty, which is always awesome. Mythbusters is over. What is that thing? That doesn't even have a title on it. What is that?
What are you looking at?
Oh, China, Illinois. Okay.
Oh, that's something from Adult Swim. I checked out. It was really bizarre. I was looking for something new.
I kind of miss Modern Marvels. That's not on anymore, is it?
Nope. Yeah, I missed that too.
I remember watching Tanked, the show about the people that build fish tanks.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't think you could make an interesting TV show out of people that build fish tanks, but they managed to do it.
One of the owners reminded me of what's that comedian that used to play on Queens of New York?
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Is it Kevin
Smith?
something?
Kevin Smith?
No, that's not the right Kevin.
Kevin James?
Kevin James. I miss American Restoration. They ended that show somehow.
Kevin Smith. Who's Kevin Smith?
Kevin Smith is Silent Bob.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, I miss American Restoration. I miss some of these kind of like, it's a reality show, and it could be but they insert drama on purpose to make it more TV-like, which I don't care for. Oh, Freakazoid!
Yes.
Yeah.
I had bought that because you're a big fan of the Freakazoid.
Community. That's probably just a couple. That's like one season, I think. Psych, I enjoyed up to a point, and then because Psych is the formulaic thing. It has that will they, won't they thing in there.
I still like it.
I actually do too, and I don't know. I think it's Dule Hill. I think I like him.
It's him because he gets all like
he's a straight guy,
yeah.
But he has funny moments. But I got burned out on American Pickers. It's a good show. I like the content. I like both the guys that do that. But I think it was just like, okay, enough. I've had enough.
They've taken a break. I mean, it hasn't been any new episodes like Danny in the garage.
Yeah. Frisky Dingo. I appreciate Frisky Dingo because it was the precursor to Archer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really short. It's only, 2 seasons or so?
We used to enjoy Cake Boss.
Yeah, and then it just... When you go 4 seasons or more into something, and it's the same setup every time, I get burned out.
Is that the Ghost Hunters effect?
Ghost Hunters plus Bones. A show like Bones, where you've got this woman that solves this, and you've got the guy that goes and does this, and there's like sexual tension, like will they, won't they get hooked up together. They wait till the last season, they hook them up, we're like, well, now I'm not interested anymore. And we just saw this with a show we were watching on Netflix, and it followed that same formula. And then what absolutely made me almost fall out of my chair is the show admitted it, because they had one of the characters obsess over watching Bones inside the TV show, and like, oh, this is the writer's way of acknowledging, yes, this show is like a Bones. So that was hilarious. So I'm sure you still kind of heartbroken about Fringe.
But at least they ended it, properly. I give Fox proper props to doing that for the fan base.
You do have Bones on here. It's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. Not all of it, but
no, it's back
you don't need it.
When we were
into it.
Definitely into it.
And then Breaking Bad. I'm surprised you got that because it's on Netflix. But then Netflix doesn't keep things forever.
You bypassed Flying Wild Alaska.
I didn't see that. We
used to enjoy that show about the.
You have yours sorted differently. Oh, there it is, Flying Wild. The problem is if you buy a season, it shows up in different thumbnails. Mm-hmm. It's not all together. Like Psych is all over the place. Breaking Bad and Bones are all over the place. Flying Wild Alaska was a great show, and it's one of these kind of like reality documentary, and it just follows a family that fly bush planes all over Alaska, and it was just I don't know why
they had their own little
company. I don't know why, but it was so enjoyable.
And it could have easily gone on another few.
Yeah,
more
but they
seasons.
probably wanted their life back.
But they were basically ready to retire,
mm-hmm.
And
I'm sure the daughters were going to take over.
Mm-hmm.
The daughters in that family.
That one daughter, she was so cute.
She's so cute
and bubbly, and
yeah. Craig had her on the Late Late Show, Craig Ferguson, and he just loved her.
Mm-hmm.
But he was worried about her getting corrupted from L.A. He's like, "Don't stay here too long. You're going to get corrupted." So, House.
Yeah,
it went off the deep end after season 4, and I'm like, it's so bad I couldn't watch it. As much as I freaking adore Hugh Laurie, because I knew him before America knew him, because he was a British comic actor. He has comedy nailed, But yeah, so let me ask you this. The Earth is flat. So if we just flip it over, it'll be like the cool side of the pillow, and boom, no more global warming. That's from a random tweet.
Well, Surlana, who would have thunk it that we could have done a segment just based on our library?
Well, I was trying to call you out, but I didn't find...
I was getting ready to say, you didn't really call me out.
Well, it's because I haven't watched the things you've bought because I'm not interested. And that is, I guess, a point of contention between us is that I don't watch enough stuff that you watch to have something to discuss with you. Because I'm not interested. And the time that I waste watching something I'm not interested in, I could be reading something I'm not interested in.
I mean, I'm just going down the list like, why...
Yes, Robert Blackadder. That's where I first saw Hugh Laurie in a bit of Fry and Laurie back in the early 80s. We started in with Stephen Fry, and then I picked up on him again in Blackadder, where he was wearing a wig and pantaloons and speaking in the silly high-pitched voice, and boom, there's House.
Did you watch Atomic Blonde with me?
Yes, I did. It was okay. It was a kick-butt woman movie.
I hear they're going to make another one.
I'd probably watch it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did kick
butt. She got her butt kicked. Remember, she's covered in bruises,
mm-hmm.
and she takes this ice bath in a tub, and
then
it had good soundtrack.
I got a few on my list. Like, for example, Stand and Deliver was a great movie.
Yes, that's a classic.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Surlana, it's about time to wrap this up. So, I guess we will see everybody next Saturday at 9 p.m.
You better be here.
You'll want to be there for this show coming up. And let's see, what else we got here? Other than that, I guess just keep your eyes glued to... found out the name of the squirrel. I'll let you go find it on your own. The meth squirrel. Apparently, the guy said he wasn't feeding the squirrel meth, that the police were off their rockers, and that he pampers this baby squirrel like it's his kid. And if you subscribe to my Facebook page, you'll be able to see this wonderful article about it. So, on that magical note, before I make Surlana laugh herself to death, luckily I don't have any blood coming off my forehead.
Oh God. We'll have to talk about that next week.
Good night, everyone.
Spaceboy Universe is hosted by Spaceboy and Surlana. Executive producer is Surlana. Associate producer is Lee Ann Cordes. Music production is Spaceboy of SpaceboyMusic.com. Special thanks goes out to Lee Ann K, K28, Dino, Solars Blue Raven, Patrick Sporer, Bob and Beverly N. This has been a Spaceboy Universe production. Support the universe by exploring Spaceboy Universe with Spaceboy and Surlana. Sweet dreams, Space Cadets.